Hello, this is Zedis. Welcome back to another Mario Maker 2 video, clearing more Uncleared 2019 levels. I have 4 levels for you this time. All kinds of pain in my butt. These took a long time, and they were kind of painful. This first one is actually the least difficult of the 4 of them, and it's not a terrible level. It's a red coin extravaganza, where I'm gonna have to get 4 coins and then go through the key door. I love his visual design. I think he does a really nice job with aesthetics here. And the concepts of the rooms are all pretty good. But he makes a couple of massive errors going in. He does allow me to get a little cheese right here. I'm not supposed to be able to get into this door. I get to the checkpoint right away, but the checkpoint doesn't really help me. His first big problem is that he has 4 rooms, 4 red keys, key coins, and but he only has 1 checkpoint, as far as I could see. So these kind of levels generally recycle you through the overworld and the subworld, and there are 2 checkpoints, and each time you go into a new world, no matter if you've already been there or not, you can get the checkpoint again. If you have 1 checkpoint, you can get the other checkpoint. Right here, actually, what I'm trying to do at this point is this level looks like it has major cheese in it, because I can get up here. Basically, he gives me any kind of item, like a POW right here and a P-switch, and I'm like, man, I'm already getting into this checkpoint room without him wanting me to. I'm like, man, maybe I can cheese it. I eventually just do it normally because I find that it's easier, but I meant to go back to see if I could cheese it, and I never did. I think it's possible. Right here, you'll see me do this in sped up time later. I'm trying to get that P-switch up in that little gap there, so I have something to do another jump off of, but I never could quite get it in there, so I don't know. I still think it's possible to cheese this level, but I eventually do it just straight because it's easier. He kind of ends up screwing me a couple of different times. I don't know if I even show it once. So he has this 1 checkpoint. So I can't save my progression with the coins. So I can get over here. It doesn't look like it helps me, but I do find a way to get further to the right. But the other thing this guy does is, after I get all the keys and go through the key door, it's very easy to die. In fact, I don't see many people surviving the first time they do it. So basically, that's what's called the key death. When you get all the red coins and then die, you start over at the checkpoint. You have 0 keys here. Yep, see, I got over here. There is a boom boom fight below, and that's where the door is to get to the final. If I had an item right here, I could very easily get over, do a jump, and that's the end right there. But without that P-switch, I can't get there. If I had a P-switch, I could probably get over there. And I think I could probably get it up, but I never quite did it. So here I'm gonna go to this first pipe. Some wiggler riding, which is fun. You know, this is fun, but I do end up. It's very easy to hit the side of them. You want to stay in the front. We'll start over, do that again. Basically, I'll show you all these different rooms. Yeah, there's nothing super hard in this, but I am sure I could cheese it. If I could get that P-switch up in that 1 little gap. I attempted to do that, and I just was never successful. So yeah, see here, he puts you over on this checkpoint. And do I check it out? I want that POW. Grabbing that POW. I'm not even sure. I think all that POW is there is so these coins rain down. He gives you a lot of bonus coins. Here, I'm just trying to reset the room. At a certain point, I go back here with the POW and try to do it again. Maybe I do it here. I don't remember. No, so okay. So here's the second room. I do this the hard way right here. Actually, if I'm in that room with the checkpoint, I can just grab the P switch and go right down the middle, and that's this hole. But you know, I have a POW, which he doesn't want me to have. I can easily get past all these wigglers by killing them. Yeah, look at the aesthetics. The very yellow. I think it's called Yellow Desert, if I do remember. Yeah, I like what he's doing with this level. This is one, I'll tell you, what made my levels better, which I'm not gonna say my levels are great or anything, but when I found the Facebook group, Super Mario Maker 2 community, it was really useful. I started out playing this game in a very small group where there were only about 5 people who were playing the game, maybe 10. And it's good to have feedback. If you're just doing this without any kind of feedback, your levels are never going to be good. You have to have some sort of social media, one way or the other, for people to give you feedback, and you have to be accepting of criticism. I know I have been in certain times interactions on Facebook where people were like, I say, hey, this is what's wrong with this level, and they'll be like, well, screw you, you're just a jerk, or you know, your levels suck even worse than mine. You gotta be accepting. Yeah, this guy, yeah. This is the third room, by the way. It's a survival room. It's actually very easy. I think we're just gonna cut back there. I have the POW still. All I'm gonna do is stand against this bill launcher, and somebody could have told him this here. I'll kill the one chain chomp that came out, and I'll just let it finish, and then it's done. I'm gonna go grab this POW again. I like the POW. We're gonna go to the 4th section. See, I don't recycle this checkpoint, so my coins aren't saved. I have 1 coin. That one's saved, and I have to get 3 others. There's only 4 sections though, so it's not terrible. But yeah, if I die, generally I have to start. If I die with the key, I have to start all over again anyway. Here's the 4th room. It's like a star run kind of thing. I'll demonstrate how terrible my controller is right here. Watch this. I'm out of star power, and I want to drop it to the left, but when I jump up to do it, I turn to the right and drop it, and I die. So let's do that again. I had to get sections 2, 3, and this one. I only am at the checkpoint with the 1. If you get there fast enough, you have the star still. I think you might be able to get soft lock right there too, if you jump into those that on-off section. I'm looking with this box, this Carl box thing here. It's kind of cute. It's actually just the baby sound, which is from Mario Paint, by the way. This, I guess, Super Mario Maker started off as a remake of Mario, or an update of Mario Paint. I didn't know that until recently. So I have the key. So we go to this middle section. I'm gonna grab the POW again. Go to this middle section. Use the key door and watch this. This is the biggest mistake of this level. I'm like, okay, so I'm gonna ride these guys down, right? They split apart and you just drop down. And you're like, where the hell am I supposed to go? There's no indication of where you're supposed to go there. We're gonna just start there, and this is the second time I was on it. I looked to the left and I saw a pipe, which you don't really see very often. And then I have the POW, so I can kill Boom Boom right away. And that's it. So yeah, he makes some critical errors in this level. This should be a good level. It's honestly not bad. I don't boo it. I do think about it, because it is, like I said, it isn't very good because of the mistakes he makes, but it's a decent level. All in all, just the whole thing was, 1 minute and 40 seconds. 40 seconds. So what is that? 100 seconds or whatever. So yeah, but I leave him a message. Halfway decent. Needed to recycle. Checkpoint. Key death too easy. Yeah, that's. I mean, this level is 4 years old almost, so he ain't gonna fix it. But that would be a really good level if he were to make it correctly. And I wish to hell the second level was anywhere near as good as that, because this is some of the worst, hottest garbage I've ever seen. This is just Mario Maker nightmare. Definitely. I mean, you've seen, if you've watched me play this throughout, watch this Uncleared level series throughout, you have seen me play some hot garbage before. This is in the top 5. And this is one of the hardest levels I've ever beaten, to be honest. This took me like 200 lives in about 2 hours. And this first section in the overworld is not that bad. And the third section, when you go back to the overworld, isn't that bad. It's actually too easy, but thank God, because the middle section in the subworld is abysmal. I boo right here. Look at all these all the magic Koopas. You can tell this level is garbage. The magic Koopas versus the sniper thwomps. The sound effects. The sound effects are just awful. It's not like the worst I've ever seen with sound effects wise, but yeah. Magic Koopas are one of those garbage items that you almost can't use well. There's a certain circumstances where you could probably have them be okay. I did notice the last time I went to the right, you can get over this pipe pretty easy. I want to get to that red pipe right there, is the subworld. If you trigger this thwomp, he comes back, so I'm just gonna have to wait for him, and I get hit a few times. There's those Hammer Brothers coming out. Hammer Brothers are another item that is hard to use. They're hard to use without it being garbage. So we're in the subworld. It's an auto scroller downwards, going very slowly downward. Look at all this. You can see right away tons of magic Koopas, a giant pom-pom with wings, a bunch of, I died going up there, a bunch of sting bees, which aren't terrible in themselves, a lot of cannons. We're not even at the worst part yet. This is garbage, but it's easily, you got power-ups you can constantly get. Once you get to the bottom half of this section, it's not super long, but once you get to the bottom half of the section, and you're kind of suspended in midair, and there's only maybe one power-up that you can get, and there's magic Koopas everywhere, and they will destroy your power-up. So there's 2 paths here. This is the bottom half. There's 2 paths, snake block on each side. You can go either way. Look at all this stuff, man. And you're kind of in midair trying to survive all this bullet hell. You can barely tell what's going on. You can barely keep track of where you are. You're getting hit constantly by stuff flying around, and you have the damage. Look at all this pom-pom crap, the bonsai bills. Yeah, you have to keep up. So the purpose is you have to stay on these snake blocks, and they go all the way around to the left, and then they go down and they snake through the middle. There's all kind. Look at all this shit right here. You can't even tell where I am. I'm gonna show several attempts at this before I show the final run. I don't even know what killed me right there. But yeah, so it goes all the way to the bottom of the screen, and we're in the airship theme right here, mind you. So it's kind of also subtly going up and down. I think it might not until it stops, but eventually we hit the bottom. There's nothing below you, and the snake block is on the bottom of the screen. You can't even see it because it's going up and down. You can't even see where the screen is on the bottom. The final run will start over at the beginning. That's how you'll know. You're just trying to survive. Look, there's one power up right below me right here. I'm gonna drop on it, and then I have an extra couple of damages. Watch out for that thwomp that falls down. You can barely see it. So this is gonna go. Look at, I got double teamed by Pom-Pom right there. And you know what? I was ducking and I was holding down. So what happened is I ended up ground pounding through the brick below me. This is honestly, like, this is spam. This is bullet hell type of spam. I hate it. I hate it so much. But this is honestly difficult. This is not easy in any way. There's no cheating items. So he did it. When he made it, he did it. Where am I now? I don't even know. I'm up in the corner. A lot of times what would happen is I would wait on that block right below where I was and wait for the, here's the final run. I would wait for the snake block to get under me and I would drop on it. Then you have to go up. And I didn't even, this is 2 hours of video that I had to edit. And there's a couple of thwomps in a very tight section in that section where you go back up. And it's very easy to get crushed too. We'll see. So yeah, you get a hammer suit for 2 seconds. What's the point of that? best to try to kill Pom Pom. It gives you one less. Kill as many of these guys as you can, honestly. The Magic Koopas, I don't know if they're actually spawning from somewhere. They might be shooting out of a cannon somewhere. Because I feel like you could kill a lot of them, but there'd still be some. I think there's just a ton of them. Here's a fire bro below me. He gets in your way pretty easy. Oh, I finally got hit by a Magic Koopa magic right there. A lot of times you don't even know what hits you. Then I got hit by the bullet, I think. Look at all this stuff. I did not kill Pom Pom, by the way, on this life. A lot of times she doesn't appear. So I'm gonna sit on this block and hope a Magic Koopa doesn't go for me, but I try to kill them when I see them. Because if they actually hit me, look, I'm small now. I doubt I'm gonna live on this life. There's Pom Pom, I killed her finally. There's also a Podoboo below me. So I finally land on that block, and here I am. I'm in the middle. Gotta watch out, I gotta be really careful. There is a power-up that keeps coming out of here. It's very easy to get crushed by these thwomps. I jumped up to trigger the top thwomp so I could jump up. I did look ahead, so I knew that if I got past that, I was safe. So there is a Meowser to my right, but he can't actually hit me over here. There's a star. I need that star to kill that bully. All I really need to do is wait behind this little cross section, and the bullet bills, these cat bullets, will actually like break these blocks. Actually, the Magic Koopa did there. I want to make sure I get that star. I think the Magic Koopa can actually kill that star, but I have to have it. It's the only way to kill the bully. And then I'm done. That took me 2 hours. That was an insanely painful level. My God. Yeah, easily one of the worst levels I've ever played. Just that whole vertical section was just it was just awful. I mean, man, it was bad. Rarely have I seen something so garbagey. Usually when something's that garbagey, they put something in there to help you, but no stars or no anything in there. And then I get to this level next, called the Gauntlet, which is always a bad word to see. This one is not as bad because it's very short. But it's also kind of like at the beginning, I hate it right away. And so, mostly because I just got done playing that last level. I was like, that's all I want is another bullet hell level. My goal at the start was to find a way to get up these vines quick. There's a mushroom up to the left. I look in the editor right away. I see exactly where I'm supposed to go. It's a pretty straightforward level. It has power-ups. Yeah, it's not the worst thing in the world. It's too annoying. I don't know. It's not a great level. I don't like this kind of thing right here. You have to basically get lucky or learn it or something. I had to learn it is the way I did it. And even when I got that mushroom, a lot of times I would get hit. Look, I died above the screen right there. Because I can't see where the bullets are. I don't know where the bullets actually disappear, how far they have to go. I eventually just stopped getting that mushroom. I got up to the right really fast and just went. There's another mushroom not too far in here, and the stuff right here is not super hard to avoid. You have to time this pretty well. I don't right here. I go too late. There are some Hammer Brothers. Another thing I hate. There are dry bones in Super Mario World. Throw the bones. Those are always really annoying. They're only on a couple of planes though, so it's not that hard to avoid. Even worse though, there's Podoboos all over the place where you can't see them up ahead. There's a couple of Bowsers shooting fire in places you can't see. And a lot of times they end up throwing fire right at you and you can't dodge it. It's not a very fair level, let's say. This part's not too bad, but it's easy to get hit if you're not careful. Right here, yeah, he starts, and here there's Podoboos kind of like every few spots, and they're not that hard to see where they are, but it's like, it's also not fair a lot. Yeah, look at that, completely unfair. Right there, that was a Bowser fire. If you don't know, it comes from the top sometimes. Sometimes he'll shoot at an angle. Yeah, and then there's Podoboos like everywhere in this part of the level. Some more Bowser fire. Here's some more Podoboos that I don't really know where they are yet, so like I'm really afraid. Here's a Lakitu who I never saw him throw anything. This part's not too bad. I've got hit by a few bullets. This section is where the Podoboos really annoy me, because it's like sometimes I didn't even see that one. I don't even know if I saw that one on screen before. They're the same ones that were below me. Here's the final run, I think. Yeah, we're just gonna skip that mushroom to the left because it's just not worth going for. It takes too much time, really. This one I played this. This was probably like a 46-minute level or something like that. I played this enough where I really run through it pretty fast at the end. You can go right over this skewer, which is nice. Best to get where the Bowser. If you get to where the Bowser is with the power up, it's not too bad here. I'm trying to escape his fireball, and I got hit by a Podoboo. Oh! Fall down. I'll almost bite it, but yeah, I'm having a difficult time. Getting up to the next level isn't always easy because you have to be at a run, and you don't have a lot of room to run. A lot of this stuff, I just when you're at the top level, it's not too hard to avoid these Podoboos. Getting that cloud doesn't help too much, but it can help a little. I did it a couple of times, but I feel like it's best just to go fast. I've kind of, at this point, learned where these Podoboos were, or at least where they weren't. If you get up to this point, and you get to the question block over there, you are rewarded with a cape feather, which is awesome. It gives me 2 hits at least, and allows me to float. I think you can also kill Bowser fire with it. I think. I'm not 100% sure if that's true. I don't think I experienced it here. You have to be really careful because these skull platforms will go away, and I got hit there, so I have to be careful of the... I see it shaking. I have to jump. Luckily, it's a small Bowser, so I can just jump right over him. And he didn't jump. He could jump and hit me. Yeah, that level was annoying. I don't like it. But compared to the last level, it's not too bad. It took me a while, though. Probably 100 lives. It was not easy. Yeah, spammy. But again, compared to the last level, it's nothing. I think that one had over 100. I don't remember. I definitely tried a lot. So this last level, you'll see that I already played this once. I started this level, I think it was the second level I got, and I couldn't figure out the first part of this level. And later on, I kind of thought about it. I was like, oh, that's, you know, it's not as hard as I'm making it. So you have to fly. Here's Super Mario Bros. 3 with Tanuki Tail. This part right here confused me. Because I think I'm not supposed to lose flight. But you know what? You are supposed to. So if you're at P speed and you jump with the tail, you fly. You remember that from Super Mario Bros. 3. If you're still at P speed when you get up there, you can keep it by running. But you don't want to fly through that downward. It's a spike tunnel, basically. It's a spike and saw tunnel. What you want to do is you duck. And I mess it up a few times. You want to duck and float through there at an angle. Not flying, but just fluttering your tail so you float. And it's hard to get the angle right, but yeah, there it is. And that's how you do it. That took me forever to figure out. I played this level for 20 minutes, and I was like, I don't understand this at all. But then later I was thinking about it. I was like, you know what? I'm making it harder than it is. This speed run is very, very long. There's a couple of problems with it. It's way too uneven in difficulty. That first part is really hard. And then there's a part later where you get the tail again. You're constantly losing and getting new power-ups in this level. But you get the tail again, and then there's an extremely hard part. You see that there's a clear condition. Get 4 1-ups. Well, when I finally get to where the 1-ups are, it requires a very precise movement with the Tanuki tail, or Raccoon Mario, or whatever you want to call it. Also, right here, you have to fire fireballs so you kill that guy and get a key. That would have been nice for him to indicate. He didn't, but I had been here before. I had gotten this far before, actually. You can get this far even if you lose the power-up. And there I mess up that throw. Later on, I actually figure out a way to do this without getting hit, or without going to the right, just to save me some time. You get past that section, this section is pretty easy. Yeah, a lot of this stuff is not hard. It's very easy to read. But then there's a couple of really hard parts, and then it's a very long, no checkpoint speed run, and it's actually fairly tight. I abandoned the boot there. I was not supposed to. We'll cut right back there. Yeah, but I will say, even though it's uneven and it's very hard, the parts that are hard are really hard. I think this level is fairly good. I give this one a like. I thought about not liking it just because of that unevenness, and it really made me have to grind. This one took me over an hour too, probably about an hour and a half, because I did play it for about 20 minutes the first time I played it, and then maybe even longer than that. It might have been close to 2 hours for me to beat this one. Yeah, these 4 levels took me, like the last video, I think I recorded all 6 levels in like maybe an hour, and then this one took me like 4 hours to record 4 levels. That's how this game is. That's how these levels are. But yeah, this one didn't have a lot of tries. Probably about 50 lives wasted to it. I think that stuff at the beginning was hard for people to figure out. There, I realize I have to grab that spring before I go in the door because I'm gonna need it. And here I'm still kind of just learning it. Go up here. We're gonna at least get to the part with the 4 1-ups, and I'll show you what I'm looking at. Actually, rewatching the video, I'm shocked that I came pretty close to doing it correctly the first time, and then it took me like over an hour to actually accomplish it. It took me an hour to figure out a good way to do it, but what it turns out is I did it really well the first time, and I wish I had noticed how well I did it the first time. So we want to get the first one right here, but we lose our power up. Then I go get the second one, and then I'm like, oh, I still have 2 more to get. And right here I realize that, oh, maybe I can go get them like this, getting back up there. But I'm also at this point, here I do get the clear condition right here, but I have no time left anyway. We're going to do the damage strat. We're going to do the whole run right here. I tried to get those without taking any damage with the Tanuki tail, which I think is how he wants you to do it, but I could never accomplish it. It's so hard to do because you have to be really precise and not get hit by the spikes, and I don't think you're supposed to hit those springs at all on the wall. I think he wants you to avoid them. He might want you duck like he did in that first section. I don't know. I'm not sure what they did. But I get the first 2. I take damage right away. I get the first one. I get the second one. And then I go to the ground. And we'll see it when we get there. But yeah, I have to very quickly collect them so I have time. I did look at his upload time to see how close he was to finishing. And I actually, at one point, went to the very end to see if I had enough time to do it the way I was going to do it. He beat my time by about 4 seconds on his upload time, so you have plenty of time. All I know is he ended his run on a 3. So that means he has at least 7 seconds. Here's how I do that. I go slow and I kick it to the right, so I don't accidentally mess that throw up. Because I did do that a lot. Yeah, a lot of this speedrun is just really simple. But it's not bad. It's a fairly well-designed level. I think also it's just too long for what it is. Honestly, I don't like checkpoints and speedruns, but this one is so long, it might have been nice to have one. Personally, in my opinion, speedruns should never be over 60 seconds, and 60 seconds is really pushing it. I honestly think 40 seconds is about as much as a speedrun should be, a proper speedrun. I think 40 seconds is about as much as anyone can tolerate, really. And this one is 2 minutes and 10 seconds or something like that. I don't know. It's like over 2 minutes, I think, which is too much. I can't remember how many. 160 seconds or 170 seconds, something like that. There, I took 2 bounces there. That's going slow. I learned to jump up those ramps. That helps. I feel like they wanted to put every single power up in the game. You noticed earlier there was a spike shelmet that could have easily been a Buzzy Beetle shell. That was a little confusing because I thought maybe the spike meant something. Okay, here's the one-up part. I'll grab the first one very slowly. Make sure I get the I barely got that second one. And I have a power-up, so I'm going to quickly grab these last two and then go on. Because you get the fire flower, you grow all the way back up. You have 2 hits again. You need them. Because he takes any power-up he gives you, he takes away. And if you lose it in an inappropriate spot, you're pretty much screwed. But I was able to. I almost want to say that's cheese. He also puts doors behind saws, which is a little annoying, but I did know that was coming. And there it is. That was a hard-fought win. So if you've made it this far, thanks so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and we will see you next week. Have a nice day.